Hey everyone, welcome to Abstract Boss. So today I am painting another one of my dogs. I already put the latex paint on it. It's the Kills Latex Multi-Surface Stain Blocker. And I am going to paint alcohol inks on top of it. Normally you can't put the alcohol inks on top of wood because the wood is too absorbent, yada yada. I do have a full tutorial on this, so really I'm just gonna go ahead and zoom you guys through the whole process and just thought I'd get it out. It's one of those things, I have a commission and I'm super excited for the color combo. She wanted me to do the coral and the eggplant together, which look like this. And I really, really love this combination of colors. So really excited and wanted to post it for you guys. So enjoy. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I also have some 91% isopropyl alcohol in this little spray bottle that I got from Michael's, Jane Davenport. So I love it. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just building up the first layer. So you really want to make sure that the full color is down before you really start worrying about adding and making it perfect. If you're trying to get it done in one layer, then I guess you need to worry a little bit more. But I never like to get mine done in one layer. I think that it doesn't add enough definition, and so I like to add more. Okay, so I'm done with the coloring on this pup. Look how beautiful. Now the commission, she did request that I do an outline with the rose gold leafing. So I'm not gonna worry about my edges like I normally do because I am going to seal this with resin, do my rose gold leafing, and then seal it again with resin. So actually, you know what? I'll probably do my rose gold leafing before I seal it with resin. You know I always change my mind. All right. Okay, so it's a little later on in the day, and the lighting is not as good now. I'm so sorry. But I have my adhesive size from Mona Lisa or Speedball, and I freaking love it. I highly recommend it over any other glue. And it lasts a really, really long time. It's so thin. So really what you're gonna do, because we wanna get a messy look to our outside. We don't want it to be perfect. So I'm gonna brush this on my edge, and then I'm just gonna kind of bring it up onto the top here. And it spreads out really, really well. And the thing about doing the Mona Lisa size on these is you really, you still want to wait for it to dry, but you don't want to have like straight lines or anything like that. With this, you want it to look abstract and rough. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the point of the brush and I'm just tapping it along the edge here in various lengths. So it's going to stick out more in some areas. It's going to come in more at some areas. And I'm not really worried about it because we can always add or adjust once we get it all up. So I'm gonna work in small sections here. I have one whole leg on, and we'll go down to the bottom of his little paw over here. So I'm just doing quick spurts here. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. And let's see. There we go. I like that. Okay, so now we have to let that dry. You know what? Actually, yeah, I'll just go ahead and paint the whole thing since it takes a while to dry anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of this. And it's not gonna be perfect. It's hard to see sometimes, so don't worry about it. Don't stress yourself out. Just do your best. I don't know, you might have a better angle than me, but I cannot see what I am doing here. Honestly, I'm just kind of assuming that I've sort of filled it in some generically awesome way. So just work with yourself, be patient, and be willing to fail, because it's okay. You will fail and you will succeed. I'm go in little zigzags too, just to kind of get it to go a little cray-cray. Okay, and that takes about, on wood it dries pretty darn quick, so I'm not too worried about it. Probably about 10 minutes. And so the big thing, definitely let it dry though, because if you don't, it will not work the same way. Like it'll work like a normal glue versus size, where size, the best part about it is once it dries, it gets tacky. And so the gold leaf, or in this case, I'm going to utilize the rose gold, is only going to stick to those tacky parts. It's not going to stick to everything, and it's not going to drag like a glue would. Because a glue, you can't wait until it dries, because then it won't be sticky. Whereas this is opposite. You want to wait till it dries, gets tacky, and then you can put on the leafing. So I will be right back. Okay, I might be doing this slightly too early, but it feels kind of tacky to me. So I'll jump into it. Probably should not learn all your habits from me. Like, learn my mistakes and then improve on that. Okay, so I'm just gonna take some like slices of the rose gold, and then I'm just gonna lay it along the side. There we go, and then push it up onto the top. Okay, so this is how we initially lay it down. If you have gloves or something like that, that would actually probably be easier most times, just because this gold leaf does get very, very sticky. So that would be ideal. There we go. And keep going over. And then make sure you have a soft brush, just the simple little things that I know I've gone over before with all my older followers. So all you new followers, welcome. And if there's any questions that you guys have, just let me know. Most of the materials that I use are all available on my website through my Amazon affiliate links. And that is abstractboss.com/materials, or just go to abstractboss.com. It's pretty hard to miss. And then if you just have general questions about the process, stuff like that, I'm going to start an FAQ. So that blog will be up within the next week, because I'm getting a lot of questions that are very repetitive that I have, but I totally get it, you guys. Like, I have over 100 videos or something since I started posting my first video in January. So yeah, I get it. There's a crap ton of info to go through. So I'm gonna make it as easy for you guys as possible and just create like a one-stop shop for your brains and your art to be able to just go and say, oh, that's what she was meaning, or that's what this is. And that blog is just gonna keep growing. I have a lot of ideas for it, so I'm gonna keep growing for like kind of like a tip thing. It's gonna keep having more and more tips of ways to work with resin or with alcohol inks or with leafing and things like that as I get through it. So the biggest part for me is I realized that I have not really been working a lot with fluid painting anymore. I still love it. It's just not as widely popular for YouTube, so I don't really do it as often. So if you guys are ever interested in stuff like that too, a lot of the answers, I don't have as many of those videos that you would have to shuffle through, and a lot of those answers would be on my videos, pretty easily accessible. But again, if you guys are having any difficulties, let me know. I love to be able to help you guys and inspire you guys to be able to have art in your life. But I've been thinking about it lately, and really I'm trying to help and inspire you guys to live a happy and positive life, whether that means, you know, let's jump in and do more art, or let's try out art for the first time. All those types of things I want to inspire you guys to do, because I think that it could really change the outlook that we have and the way that we approach everyday normal situations. For me, I used to approach situations with like total, like, I don't know, I guess the word to describe would just be negativity. Total negativity. And I was negative Nancy. Like, if any of you guys are Nancy, I'm sorry, don't mean to to put a negative connotation to your name, but I'm sure you've heard it before. It's just negative Nancy. Like, that was me. I was so negative, and I had to go through a lot to be positive and to have something happen to me that's crappy, and it's like, oh, okay, it's whatever, you know, and just to sort of brush it off. And I really want to help other people to be able to do that, because it has made a big impact for me in my life and the way that I interact with my family and the way that I handle, you know, challenging situations with my son and stuff like that. So if ever you guys have questions or just want a specific topic that you need some motivation on, let me know, because I want to start doing some type of like featurette of like a motivation Monday or something like that. And I might even just stick it to my Facebook. We'll kind of play that one by ear together to see what you guys are enjoying, because I know you guys like my geodes, and these animals are starting to get a little bit more popular. Every time I do my festivals, these animals sell. There was only one animal that I didn't sell this last festival. Oh, I'm sorry, two. There was the chicken and the dog, and then the rest sold. And I even had a couple flaws on some of them, and I told them, I was like, you know, hey, this one has a flaw. I can always fix it and then send it to you, but I just really wanted to take it here for visuals. And they're like, no, I want it today. I want to take it home now. I love it. I love it. So it's really pretty cool to see stuff like that. Now I'm just rambling. But it was a lot of fun. It was a great event, and I learned a lot of stuff, and I will try to share those things with you guys soon. So just keep an eye out on my blog. Trying to be better with a blogging, but I'm not as good at that. I'm not much of a writer, but I would like to be. I really do. So just making sure there's no more sticky spots. I'm gonna go around the edge here and just get kind of most of this restuck. Looks like I missed a couple spots over here. That's fine. So there we go. Oh, whoa, I missed like an entire section of the leg over here. How did I even do that? There we go. Did I get it? I think so, most of it. We'll come back and fix that. Okay, so I'm just sort of getting all this edging off now. My finger's getting a little tacky with some of the size that's stuck to me, so I'm just trying not to take off too much. So that's the thing, when you're, oh, there it goes. When your size starts sticking to your fingers, that's kind of a big red flag that a lot of the other metallic paper is going to be sticking to your fingers. So You really don't want to use those fingers again. Otherwise, it will take off where it is technically already sealed onto the tackiness. It will start taking it off of that area, and we don't want that to happen. So what I recommend is grabbing a glove and putting a glove on. So, or even using a brush. Oh, I should do that to my nails. That'd be pretty. So I'm gonna grab a brush right here. Let's go with, this one's soft. Nope. That one's softer. No, this one's soft. Okay, so you want to take a soft brush and you just want to kind of go back and forth, and it helps to break up the leafing wherever it was not meant to stick to. Okay, so I just kind of flick my finger back and forth, and you notice that it really has that rough edge, like I was telling you guys to do with the brush. So that's the goal. We want to keep that rough edge. So I'm not going to keep messing around with this even if it isn't perfectly removed here. I'm going to leave it as is and move on to the next spot, so that way I can keep that beautiful roughness. This is interesting. Normally I like completely forgot too that this is wood. But what I normally do is I do a layer of resin and then I put this on, but I wanted to give it a try without doing that. And I'm kind of glad I did. This is actually working really well. Kind of feel like I'm trying to uncover some dinosaur bones. As I'm re-pushing this down though, it wasn't as strong, so I'm just gonna push it down, and then that way when I go over top of it with the sealer, the speedball sealer, it's gonna look fantastic. Fighting off the urge to blow on this and like get all the extras to come down is not easy. All right, so all this extra that ends up hanging underneath, just kind of grab your hand and tear that off here. You can take your brush and brush it down as well. Okay, anything that's underneath, if it doesn't come off, it'll get sealed with resin anyways. So, you know, pick your battles. So the biggest thing that stands out to me is right over here. I have a straight line, and I don't know if y'all can see that. I think you kind of can. So it's a straight line, and I really want it to look like it's one piece. So I am gonna add a little bit more of the size. So I'm gonna add just a tad bit more of the size right over here, making it a little rough and looking like it kind of goes together right there. Okay, and then set this on it. Oh, I did not wait for it to dry. Dumb me. I got so excited to fix my mistake. So the biggest thing, since I didn't let it dry and get tacky, I have to actually wait to remove it now. So I will be back again. Okay, so now everything is where it needs to be, and the next thing that I'm gonna apply is my sealer. And I don't know why I just went so squeaky right there. So the speedball sealer is actually lasts seemingly longer than the size, but maybe I just don't have to use as much of it because this is still half full, whereas my size is empty, almost empty, and I had to order another one. But really, both of them just lasted so long. That size, you guys should see the amount of projects I've used with that. I'll try to see if I can find a count and then give that to you, but it's amazing. And so really you just want to put a nice coat, and I don't know if you guys can see right there, but it really flattens this, which is very, very essential to putting the resin on top. Okay, so we want to make sure that all of this is nice and flat. Okay, so just working my way around here. I'll speed you guys through. That is it. You want to let this dry. It does dry clear, and then add resin on top. So the biggest thing with resin, I'm going to show you guys another project that I'm working on, well, with the animal and the alcohol inks, is the resin does not like the edges, okay? I don't know what it is about these animals, but it does not like them. So what I did, what I normally do is tape off the edges, but I tried, for some reason, this last time I had a huge table full of projects and I was like, oh, I'm okay. Well, it doesn't, let me see if I can, yeah, there we go. See how that edge just looks so funky there? It really does not sit on the edges. It more so comes to the middle, which is interesting because it's wood, instead of flowing over the edge there. So what I like to do, because a lot still flowed over the edge. You can actually look under here and see the bulbs and stuff that still came off. So what I like to do is I like to tape it off and then pour in resin, let it sit for like 6 hours and then take the tape off, because then it'll slowly, and you can use your gloves too to like push it over the edge. But then that way the edges are covered, this is fully covered, like it's a really nice cure. That has been my biggest tip for working with these. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it though with this leafing. So I might have to skip it on this guy, but I will show you guys on my other bear. I'll just kind of do them together so you guys can see both of those.